Cool. Yeah.
Okay, right. So good morning, everybody, and welcome, Elsa, to joining our group this morning. Today, I think, is something like the 30th of August. So can you believe it? We are just about through to the final quarter of the year. And Monday will be month end for those of us who are working the business. And remember that 80% of the business takes place in 20% of the time. So there's always time to keep moving it on till the actual final moment. And thank you, Bjorn, so much for sharing the information on the group that's been coming through from the company. The 60s of the Omega, the new Omega is now available, which I'm very pleased to see that. And I'm sure the other products which have been on back order will be coming through quickly now as we move into September. Then just the last thing I just want to mention in terms of the housekeeping is that they'll be doing another draw on Monday for anybody who has not yet booked for the convention, which will be on the 18th of October. So if you don't take the ticket, you don't win, as we know. So please spread the word out there, Bjorn, especially with your people, to get their bookings in by Monday. They obviously are trying to now get things finalized as we move towards the high point of the Near Life Year, which is I always call it the convention. They got a new name for it now. It's called the Summit, the highest point of the year. And it is. It's really worth attending and always enjoyable. Okay, so on our program for today, this wonderful program that Bob put together for us, we have the 30-second elevator pitch. And so what I did was it's my turn to talk today. And I, of course, went and Googled and AI'd and all these things. And so this lovely picture comes up here of this elevator steps kind of idea. And so the 30-second pitch, speaking to a stranger, basically, the thought that came into my head is, where do we find people? Where are they? We're not necessarily all going to be in lifts and elevators, although I have spoken to many people in an elevator and got follow up with them. So where else do we find people? So it's wherever you are congregating. If you are at a Toastmasters group, or if you are in a church, or if you are in a supermarket, there have been known to be near-life distributors who have done most of their finding of people in front of the frozen foods section of the supermarket. And I'm not joking. It's wherever you can find a person to connect with. And there is the place where you will need to think about, what do you say to them? So I've gone back to my favorite place whenever I'm thinking about network marketing things, and that is our favorite writer and YouTuber, and his name is Eric Worre, and he wrote that book, Go Pro. And I thought I would come in to it from a different angle this morning, because if you AI this or put it up onto Google, the 30-second pitch, you are going to find 100 billion and one different ways of doing it. And most of them are saying similar things. And it is something that we can each do for ourselves if we want to build our own techniques and skills with how do we speak to people about what we do. So obviously people in sales organization, who are doing the sales for organizations like Nestle or whatever it is, they are getting very, very specific training on what they are going to say to a person when you are meeting them for the first time. Now, remember that we are talking here often about speaking to strangers. which can be the number one block for many people. However, I went back to Eric Worre, and he, just to give us some little bit of background of where we're going with the network marketing side of things. When we sponsor people, you will get three kinds of people who will be attracted to an organization. And he summarizes them up as posers, amateurs, and professionals. So the poser is the kind of person who, when you speak to them for the first time, will or are starting to introduce them to a network marketing concept, they will make a mental list of 3 or more people, which they then rely on, mostly the idea of luck, if they are going to build themselves a business. Now, I know this doesn't seem to be fitting in directly with what a 30-second pitch is, but please bear with me, because you will see where I'm going with the idea that I've got here. So that's your first kind of person that you're probably going to come across. The second kind is what we call an amateur, and they're good at making a list of people, and they have high anxiety. And then the third one, the professional, they are people who are out there to find quality people to talk to as their top skill. Sorry, my grammar went strangely funny on that quote from Eric Worre. But essentially what it's saying is they're the professional person is someone who goes out and finds quality people to talk to. And that is their top skill. I think I left out the comma. Now, these are the 3 kinds of people we are going to come across. And maybe there'll probably a whole lot of more, but they would be the kind of people who might decide they want to follow us. Now, there are 4 simple steps that we want to follow according to Eric Worre. And the first one is to make a comprehensive list of people. Then you look at the list and think about who they know. Just think, don't worry. And then constantly expand the list to network on purpose. So those 2 lines in red, I want you to highlight in your heads. Because the point of doing the 30-second elevator pitch is to be constantly expanding your list of people, so that you're not going to be the poser, you're not going to be the amateur. We are all working ourselves towards becoming professionals in the network marketing industry. So the idea with doing the pitch is to be expanding your own list and then building deliberately, being mindful that you have a job to do in terms of finding more people. And I think that's where I was wanting to get to in terms of the pitch. It's got to be something that you are doing automatically, constantly, in order to keep looking for people who may want to use your incredible products, or who may want something else, which we'll get to now. So just a simple summary. An elevator pitch is a short, concise, and persuasive summary of your business, product, service, or yourself, designed to be delivered in the time it takes for an elevator ride, typically 30 to 60 seconds. The main goal is to spark interest, make a memorable first impression, and open the door for a longer conversation, whether it's to attract investors, land a customer, or get a job. All right, so that's why there's so many examples out on the internet, because there are so many different things that people are looking for people for, to attract people to. So the main goal is to spark interest and make a memorable first impression. Remember that they're not, when people see you, they're not necessarily hearing what you're saying to them. They are seeing, note the word seeing you. And it's very important that you make a very good first impression. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, so make sure that first sales pitch is a good one. That comes from Facebook Neolife Africa. So here are the problems. People are boring. There's no context. There's no problem or pain point. There's no outcome or result that people get. There's no differentiator. Why do you stand out? There's no call to action. What am I supposed to do? There's no reason to take action. Why should I do that? There's no story. There are no feelings. So when you are putting your 30-second, 60-second pitch together, these are things that you should be thinking about, including. So what do we do? This is very simple, this little image. And I've heard some of the top trainers in Near Life give this as a message. First of all, jolly well, just smile at people. We're living in a world of so much angst, anxiety, fear. I don't know what else to call it. And people get so taken by surprise when you smile at them. And if you're in an elevator with a mother and a baby, smile at the baby. Then suddenly there's a place to open up a conversation. It's that simple. You know, the words will come, but you need to get that eye contact and get that emotion moving between you and the person. And I'm telling you, it's an innate feeling that you will get, that sometimes you just can feel that the energy from the person in front of you is not right. Move on. But if the energy is right, the person will smile back at you, and you have your first bit of a way to get a conversation going. What is the end goal here? Well, you know, we could say we want to make money, we want to save the world, we want to whatever. But the end goal has to be, let's build relationships. I put a listening ear there. So the second example I want to talk to you about is about the importance of listening. And I've mentioned this before, and I will share it again. And I always think of that little girl from Uganda called Janet, and her story is on YouTube. And she was at a meeting of some sort, and I think it must have been a church meeting. And the woman next to her said, they were all praying, that's right. And she was praying for some sort of help financially. And the woman on the other side of her was praying for somebody sick in the family. And Janet didn't speak to them immediately, but she listened, and then she followed up. So the company Near Life gives us a very, very easy template. But each one of you here, has to go back, and you have to spend some time this week working on your own pitch. And a lot of what you have to work on is to work out, what are we doing in Near Life? What is this business about? Why are we doing it? But what the company has said to us, you can be hearing somebody saying, the child has been, from my own experience, I've gotten stories about my own children recovering from various childhood sicknesses and things, and how the products work. So I've got a story there, a testimony. But I don't start telling them the story straight away. I say to them, let's say it's a mother, for example. I have found a way which helped my children when we were going through all the flus and children's illnesses. If I could show you, would you be open? Could I show you something? So we have put it in red here. It's just to give you the examples of the if I could, would you way of speaking to people. So we're not going out there to go and tell them I can help you to earn $1 million in a month, blah, blah, blah. You just want to open the door to a future conversation with the person. So I found a way, if I could show you how to get out of debt, how to achieve your dream holiday. Now, these in the black on the third line are very, very relevant for young people, we are told, who are in this generation that we're on at the moment, who want to experience the world. They want to see new things. They want to find a way to afford a whole lot of different opportunities. So think about who you're speaking to and what you can offer them. And you do not ever, ever in the 30 seconds, 60 seconds, tell them anything more than, if I found a way, could I show you? And then you get a phone number, or you have a credit card, you have a business card, and you give them your card. It works like a charm, and it has worked many times for me, and it will continue to. Just to finish off the little presentation, when I was Googling and way there on Facebook, etc. Sorry, let me just turn this phone off. This person must go away. Sorry, I should have turned the sound off, and I'm going to do it quickly. There we go. These little 4 slides go a little bit further than the pitch. However, I think there are ideas you can use to develop into your personal 30-second pitch. So obviously in Near Life, we've got 3 main things that we are doing. We are using our products, and we are, to use the euphemism, sharing or selling the product. Let's not pretend that's what we're doing. And we are also selling the opportunity. So we've got 2 things that we are selling to people. So that's why when we look at this slide again, there are 2 different things that I'm suggesting here. The first one is how to get out of debt. That would be to show somebody how to do the business. The second one would be, how would you help somebody with health? And of course, you could also include here, for people who are fed up with all the plastics and all the poison that's going on, you could work a pitch therefore using our amazing home care products. And of course, we also have the skincare. Then this was just a little slideshow that I found, which emphasizes again what I've been saying to you. Listen to people. Don't push your own agenda. Listen to what your prospect has to say and respond with something of value. If I could show you, I would. This picture reminds me of for people who do a lot of flying, that becomes an excellent place to do a 30-second pitch. Airports, anywhere people going through to Pretoria every day on the Gautrain, those are places where people can do this method. Then you provide relevant information. It's a good idea to have brochures, catalogs, and marketing material ready on your phone or on your computer, that once you follow up with a person, they can take it home, or they can read it in their own time, or they can follow it up on their phones, especially these days. And then respond quickly. The fortune is in the follow-up. So start growing a relationship, as I said to you. Give your prospect a call or send them a text as soon as possible. What I do is, if I pick up a number, for example, a young man recently in Woolworths here in Rosebank, he was behind the counter. He was so open and friendly, positive energy. I got his number, and within an hour, I had followed up with him, and within a week, we were having a coffee together. So you can, and remember, choose places where you meet people if you're going to use that method, where you are safe. The other option is always to do what we are doing now and follow up online. So if you don't have you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I love anything that Eric Warris says, and I recommend that you all follow up and look at him on social media and on YouTube. I just want to add one last thing in here, and Bjorn, you could probably help us with this, is that I haven't included anything on how to pitch when you are on Facebook, Instagram, etc. But you are doing something there that is working and attracting a lot of new people through your social media posts. I know it's a bit of a short, no, didn't give you warning for this. Yes, if you would like to add anything in, it would be great. And anybody else who would like to have anything to say now, please do. I'd appreciate.
Well, I don't I don't have a proven formula because otherwise I wouldn't be in these Saturday morning meetings. But I just try anything. I try anything from recruiting drives to product drives, and there's always just mixed response because it depends what time of the day people see things and who sees it and all the rest of it. So at the moment, I'm still just very much firing into the dark and hoping that it lands. And I'm achieving a measure of success, but nothing groundbreaking.
Oh, well, doesn't take a day, and that's the journey. And you are learning things which I hope you are keeping notes on, Bjorn, because you're going to teach a lot of other people
Sure. I
what
mean,
you are doing.
I
Yeah.
have notebooks of notes, which I must say are quite useful because I actually attended another Eric Worre thing during the week last week. Um, and when I was looking at something, he said something, and it made me think. And I paged back in a notebook, and I found something else that from another thing he said. And it's good to keep these notes because it jogs your memory of things
Mm.
to do and things to learn.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, and just for your benefit, Elsa, that the business when they teach us the three main things we have to do. One is, is to use our products and sell. The third one is to sponsor people, and the third one is personal development. And so that's what you're talking about there, Bjorn. And I know, Meryl, you're on the same journey with us. It's all about this mindset and overcoming our fears and becoming, at the same time, our knowledge about the products. I mean, we have a product which is products which are amongst the best in the world. There's no doubt. There can't be any doubt about that. So, so you're learning about the product, but now you can't understand why you can't sell it. And the next thing is you don't know what people are turning away from you in the supermarket, but then you hear from Monica that somebody's actually standing in the supermarket looking to grab people. I mean, so everybody has to find their own way. Rob, would you just repeat when I asked you this morning? I said to Rob, what's your 30-second pitch, Rob?
Now you put me on the spot
Dead
again.
silence. There was dead silence. But
I,
what did you say? It was relevant.
I said it often depends upon the situation, and I was trying to think. Maybe my memory's gone blank. Trying to think of the last couple of times that I've pitched at someone. Um, but yeah, I think the important thing is to try and build a relationship with the person first. So when you start saying, "Look, would you like to earn a little bit extra?" Then they realize that you're not selling them gas. You're not selling them an empty shell, that you're sort of a genuine person and that you're genuinely trying to show them what's going on. But it is very difficult with an elevated pitch to then keep the person's interest. And it's not something I was actually thinking now that when Bjorn answered your question. I mean, there's a classic marketing course that you can do. Um, and I think with this whole thing of network marketing, um, we've got to find our own way. But the main thing is, oh, I wasn't able to talk to anybody this week. Yeah, but I was sitting in my room here all day. So what do you expect? So you have to change where you go, how you interact with people, and you have to keep on thinking about that. If it's on social media or are you going out for a walk or a run or meeting people at a particular place, then you have to just be consistent. So to do that, because also like if you go to a particular place, like I'll go for a run once or twice a week, and there's quite a lot of people there, and it's about people recognizing you. So, oh, who's this guy? Not, oh, he's part of the community. That type of thing. Trying to build that.
But I think what you're alluding to there, Rob, and I think we all guilty of, I'm not talking about you, Elsa, obviously, but we all guilty of not of being, and one of the things that I put into that presentation was we have to be mindful, we have to be consistently mindful of looking for the opportunity. But sometimes it gets wearying, if we're going to be honest, to do that. So sometimes we just let it go for a bit. But if you are wanting to build this business and get it moving quickly, you have to be focused and doing that work, so to speak. And I saw this week, and I can't remember where it was again, the idea of it was some very, very successful salesperson in a car sort of setting in a dump of a town, but became the top salesperson. And he had a bottle with paper clips in it, and he wouldn't finish phone calls for that day until he had emptied that bottle. Then we also have the idea of starting your day with 3 pebbles, 3 coins, something in one pocket, and you don't finish the day until you have done that elevator pitch to 3 people. And there are many, many of those techniques out there. But that's really worth going back to that Eric Warra book over and over again. It's called Go Pro. And the chapter that I was looking at for this presentation, he refers to Harvey Mackay, who at the age of 18, his father sat him down and said to him, "Son, if you want to have a successful life, you must make a list of every single person you speak to and build a relationship with them." And by the time he was 60, he had 15,000 names of real friends. And this was pre-social media, cell phones and all that sort of things. So he did little things like he would send birthday cards to people. He would make a little note and remember that the dog had died, and he would make these little personal connections with people. And there's nothing else that people want, in my experience as a teacher, as with students. Every student that's in front of me on a daily basis, all they want is to be recognized. And I hate to use it in the word, but they want to feel loved. That's all. That's all anybody wants, is just to feel appreciated and cared for. So that becomes then this paradox, this irony in this whole business that we are in, that we want to make money, but if we make that such a driving thing that we forget that we are actually dealing with people. And if you focus on the person and what they need, then ironically, you will get what you need. And that's the bottom line to the whole story as I see it. But please think about those words. If I could, would you? If I could, would you? It's so simple. And you'll hear our friend Drew using it over and over. Bjorn, you've heard him say that as well. If I could, would you? And if instead of getting in a panic as I've done in the past, thinking, what am I going to tell them? I'm selling this, and you need Omega, and you need that. No, if I could, would you? It's such a simple way of being able to open up a conversation with the potential of a relationship, and then potentially the person becomes part of the business. Then what I want to just finish off on, because the time is running out quickly now, is the other thing that you will hear from all the recent Eric Warra, is that he is saying repeatedly, yes, Bjorn, I'm coming to you now, do this in a way that people teach people how to do their own orders. All we are doing, we are in between our manufacturing company and the customer. We have to connect people with the customer, and the more people we get that going online, it becomes a far easier type of business opportunity. But that we can talk about more on another occasion. Bjorn, yes?
So I've been invited to a BNI type thing on this coming Thursday, and I need a 2-minute pitch. Now, this 2-minute pitch is obviously a different type of pitch because you're speaking to other business owners as well. What would I what do I say to them? Because they're not a regular type of customer. They already have their own businesses. So do I assume that I'm just wanting to sell product to them, or?
Yes, Bjorn. So Elsa and I are both very experienced with BNI. Would you want to say something, Elsa?
The thing is, obviously, you've got to tell them what you're doing, what you do.
Sure.
And I advocate a very, very simple thing for a pitch. First of all, you grab their attention immediately. You know, what we call a hook now. Then you tell them what you do, and then you do a call to action. You know, so your call to action in a BNI type setup is, these are the kind of people I'm looking for. But as Monica has mentioned, how can you help these people or people that they know? So it's not necessarily the people in the room that are going to buy from you or whatever. They may refer you to other people. So that's why at the end of our BNI pitches, we always say, if we remember, who our ideal clients are, you know, who we want to attract. But it's quite simple, Bjorn. It's literally hook them in. And I tell you what, on ChatGPT, if you put your stuff in and you ask for a hook, they'll give you one. So, boom.
Right, lovely.
3 seconds, tell them what you want to do, and then do your call to action.
And
you know what works brilliantly is a little story. I always advocate that if you're doing something for the first time, tell a little story, because people remember stories. Think about when you go to a conference or whatever, how much of the, well, you take notes, obviously, but how much of the conference do you remember? You remember the stories. And that's really cool, because if it's short, you're going to remember what you have to say. So,
thank you.
And also what they say in BNI is specific is terrific. So don't, when you're asking for that hook, when you're asking for people, be specific. It's always counterintuitive, because I'm just going to be here for this day. But, that's the trick as well.
But you see, your hook could be just what Monica said. If I could, would you? You know, that's an excellent hook.
Lovely, great.
Do you think?
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay, so Elsa, thank you for your input there. I know that you're an expert, and I'm very grateful for you coming to join us this morning. And I hope that there was something useful for you there. Meryl, I hope all's going well down there with you and your mum. And I've been relying on that beamer every day. So Meryl has sold me a wonderful blanket thing to lie on, Elsa, which just...
I thought you were lying on a BMW, and I'm going, what?
Bjorn,
this is my car.
I'll be in touch with you now. I'll phone you in a moment. And Rob, thank you for doing this for us, and have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Monica, do you do this every Saturday?
Every Saturday, and and you're welcome to join us every week if you'd like to, Elsa. And fortunately, I'm not the only speaker anymore. So we have Bjorn has been done some training. We have Bobby do training for us, and we're always looking for new voices to say things and teach us, and we mix it up between business and products.
Okay.
And we sometimes are spread all over the world, but it depends on who the speaker is, I think. No, I'm just joking. Some subjects interest people more than others. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks so much.
Okay. Thank you. Speak to you soon.
Lovely. Thanks.
Bye.